Hello YouTube. I'm going to review this Go drive from VisionTek. It's a 480 gigabyte 7 millimeter low profile SSD. I got this from Amazon on sale for around $188.90 or around 190 bucks. That means that the drive gives me a cent per gigabyte ratio of about 40 cents per gigabyte. And it's phenomenal. You know, this is a great bang for the buck capacity SSD. Now I just hope that it performs like an SSD should. Now the specs on it in the back doesn't show much. It just gives some basic information about how to set it up. But its physical dimensions are 2.5 inches by 7 millimeters. It's a low profile. It comes with an adapter. Its stated peak performance is 550 megabytes a second read and 520 megabytes a second write. The SSD has an LSI SandForce 2281 series controller. The drive contains Tier 1 MLC and it features print support through the OS. It's a 512 gigabyte physically with 32 gigabytes for real-time redundancy and error correction, and it has a 3-year warranty. So let's open this bad boy up. It's kind of difficult to do this with one hand, but we'll go at it. All right. And there you go. It's opened. There you go. There's the adapter that comes with it. Has a little sticky thing on it so you can stick it to the SSD. There you go. There it is. VisionTek. It has a nice little aluminum feel to it. And that's the SSD. Now the reason that I bought the SSD is because I want to upgrade my old gaming laptop. This is a Gateway P7801u. It has a 1920 by 1600 screen resolution. It has an NVIDIA 9800 GT graphic card. It has a Core 2 Duo, a Centrino 2 Duo 8400T, I believe. It's a really good performing laptop. I've used it for about 6 years now, and I would just like to make it go a little bit faster. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to time the startup. So 1, 2, 3. There it goes. Now I've done a couple of things to it so that it'll start up a little quick. For example, the animations for the Windows boot up is disabled. That gives me a little bit of a faster time. And we'll stop the watch when it boots up into the desktop. and you'll see why hard drives are the way of the past. It's not done yet. It still has a little bit more to go. And almost there. Yep, it's done. Oh no, a little bit more. And now it's done. That's it. So it took the hard drive 2 minutes and 14 seconds to boot up to the desktop. So we'll see if the SSD improves these times. So for the cloning software, I'm going to be using Macrium software. Macrium Reflect Free. It's a free software that lets you clone your hard drive onto your SSD. Because unfortunately, this SSD does not come with a cloning software. So the first thing I did before I started cloning my drive was to make sure that there were no fragments in my hard drive. So what I did was I defragmented with defraggler, and as you can see, there are very few fragments. Now there's going to be the occasional fragment here or there, but as you see it right now, my hard drive has been completely defragmented. You can see that it's a 320 gigabyte hard drive with 298 gigabytes of usable space and 150 gigabytes of used space. I also made sure that I cleaned out any duplicate files or unneeded files or folders or videos that I don't need on my SSD to make the process a little bit faster. To install the SSD, you have to flip over your laptop. Make sure to take out the battery. So I'll do that first. So the battery's out. And then you gotta unscrew your latches for your hard drives. So mine has 4. You just take it out. Now, as you see, mine has 2 drive bays. So this is the drive bay that has the hard drive installed. What I'm gonna do is switch out this bay and put it in this second bay and put the SSD in the first bay. Then I'll clone it. So now I have taken my SSD and I secured it with some screws. And right now I'm going to insert it to my first drive cage. Right there. And I just have to press forward firmly and it's in place. Same thing with my hard drive. Put it in the second cage. Now if you don't have 2 drive bays on your laptop or on your desktop, you're going to have to use an external adapter to make the clone. So push it forward. It's kind of finicky. So let's try it again. To fail. Okay, so I got it now. So there you go. Secured in place. And now I'm going to put my cover back on. I'm going to secure these and put the battery back on. So I've put back my hard drive cage here and put the battery back on, flip it over, and we'll start her up. So as you can see, the SSD was properly detected, and since it's in the first drive cage where the old hard drive was, the system will not boot up. So I have to go ahead and manually boot up from the second tray. So for me, that'll be, I believe, F10. So what I had to do is go into my BIOS and set up my hard drive to actually be included in my boot order. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to save my changes and go ahead and boot up from my hard drive. So save exit, yes. I'm going to do F10. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and boot up from my hard drive. And there I am, booting up. So now I'm in my desktop, and what I'm going to do is use this software to clone this full hard drive to this SSD. And you can see I have 447 gigabytes available from the 480. That's expected from this type of SSD. So I'll do that right now. So as you can see, my cloning has been completed. It was done in 42 minutes and 53 seconds. And everything went without a hitch. So what I'm going to do now is take out the hard drive and leave the SSD, and we will check how it has improved in the boot up time. So we're here with the SSD already installed on the computer, and as you can see, all the indicator lights are off, and we're going to do a cold boot all the way up to the desktop. And 3, 2, 1. And it's looking good. Past the BIOS. We're at the welcome screen right now. And we're at the desktop. And we are ready to go. That's it. So around 45 seconds. That's compared to 2 minutes and 14 seconds. So we took off almost half and a little bit more out of our boot up times. So it's really worthwhile to have an SSD installed instead of a regular hard drive. So now that I have the SSD installed on the computer, what do I do then with my regular hard drive? Now what some people do is they get this hard drive and they erase it, they reformat it, they put it as a spare or a storage drive, and they put information in there. Since I already have other hard drives, what I'm going to do with this hard drive is make a backup of this SSD every once in a while. Since SSD do sometimes fail out of nowhere, I have this cloned backup. So if anything happens to an SSD, I could just take it out, put this hard drive back in, and I'm good to go. So after a week of use, or a couple of weeks of use, I've kind of liked this SSD. It works for me pretty well. Here I have a crystal disk mark showing the reads, the writes random. Compared to one review that I saw in Pure Overclock, this one on the left is a 240 gigabyte SSD. Their reads are similar to mine and writes similar to mine, and overall I'm pretty happy with this SSD.